Mexico, fishers like Fernando pictured here have a problem. His fish handling technique has a reverse alchemy effect on his catch. High quality wild-caught fish becomes third quality mash. This means that Fernando has to catch even more fish in riskier and more harmful ways to make ends meet. This vicious cycle drives overfishing, marine degradation, and poverty. At the other end of the supply chain, consumers increasingly demand seafood that is good for their health and that is produced in a manner that does not harm the ocean nor the people who work in the industry. At the Smart Fish Group, we saw an opportunity to address the ocean's problem and solve the fisher's problem and the consumer's problem by connecting each of them and by changing the way artisanal seafood is caught, processed, and sold in Mexico. I'm Cecilia Blasco, and I direct Smart Fish NGO. We incubate fisher cooperatives to improve their environmental sustainability, social responsibility, business skills, and the quality of their products, and train them to process and freeze their catch, generating jobs for women in coastal communities and reducing spoilage. We partner with a Mexican startup to develop digital traceability for artisanal co-ops, so that the fishers can keep track of their inventory and consumers can know how, where, and by whom their meal was caught. The for-profit company Smart Fish Inc., which makes up the other half of the Smart Fish Group, partners with the co-ops to sell their improved, more responsible products in premium markets with full transparency and traceability, negotiating prices on an open book basis so that all parties are aware of the costs and profit margins of each step of the value chain. We think this should be a standard business practice, but it turns out to be pretty unusual and disruptive in the opaque seafood industry. Smart Fish Inc. has shops in Mexico City and distributes to restaurants and hotels around Mexico and exports to the US. This diversified portfolio enabled Smart Fish Inc. to grow its sales during the COVID pandemic, but more importantly, Smart Fish Inc. was able to continue buying throughout the crisis, the only buyer left for many of our partner co-ops. With Smart Fish, fishers like Fernando earn 20 to 70% more for their harvest, and their co-ops retain over 50% of the price paid by final consumers. The Smart Fish team, which is made up of individuals from different backgrounds, is driven by a passion to improve fishers' livelihoods while conserving marine ecosystems. We would love to connect with the MIT Solver community to explore, for example, biodegradable packaging, off-grid solar power for processing plants, and opportunities to repurpose processing waste. Thank you for your consideration.